What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. Another Phillies After Dark. Another Phillies win against the Colorado Rockies. My God, these games are just dragging on and on and on and on and on. Dragging on. To win, you win 7-4. Jesus Luzardo deals with some command issues. Still goes 6 innings. Gives you 10 strikeouts. You score 7 runs. You have basically almost 20 hits in the ball game. You did struggle with runners in scoring position opportunities, but still, you got away with it because you're playing the Colorado Rockies, who are a very bad team. Now, bullpen-wise, you use your low-leverage guys in a 7-1 game, and those low-leverage guys can't come in and pitch clean innings, which is annoying, very annoying. Ruiz allows a run. You use Lazar for 2 innings, basically just to save your bullpen. He had a clean 8th, but he couldn't have a clean 9th. He allows 2 runs in the 9th, and basically allows the tying run to get on plate, let's be honest here. Yeah, just very annoying stuff that you can't bring a low-leverage guy into a low-leverage situation, and he can't give you a clean inning. Very annoying. Very annoying. But a lot of Phillies hits. They score 3 runs on the board early. They definitely had many chances as the game went along. Didn't contribute on all of those. Kyle Schwarber, he hits another home run, and you eventually put 7 runs on the board. Always nice. Always nice. Just bullpen-wise, realistically, it's just the bullpen that I need to talk about. Because, granted, yes, you're using low-leverage guys, but how can these low-leverage guys against the Colorado Rockies not have clean innings? I know Ruiz is just coming off of the IL, and there's probably some rust there, but can you not have a clean inning? Lazar is Lazar, I understand that, but the Rockies, you can't have a clean inning? 2 clean innings? You really have to risk it to put Romano up in the bullpen? Come on. Come on. Now, I hate being negative after all that. It's mainly more about the bullpen. That's basically it. And that really is going to have to come down to when you are facing better opponents that lack a bullpen depth. It's going to be very glaring. Very glaring. Jesus. Very, 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 very glaring. And I get that you didn't want to use up the rest of your bullpen. I understand that. But it's just like, man, Lazar, he's barely even a 1-inning guy. 2 innings. Jesus. They really need to find some bullpen help, and fast. Could they have called up somebody else from AAA? Probably. Because, realistically, if we look at this, when you have your low-leverage guys as Hernandez, Lazar, and Banks, and Ruiz, it's not good enough. And granted, yeah, playoff time, those guys are probably not going to be seeing major innings. You're going to be seeing your more high-leverage guys because you would expect your guys in the starting rotation to have longer starts, to have, at least 6 innings of work in there. So realistically, yeah, you're not going to be going to those guys, but those guys will have to be used at some points, and those guys just aren't good enough. They aren't good enough. And watching those guys just simply pitch out there, it's literally just a drag. It is just a drag to watch those guys go out there and pitch because they're not going to have a clean inning. It just really is the fact there, especially against a very bad team in the Colorado Rockies. Now, I really won't judge Luzardo harshly. Not at all. He still battled pretty much. He still went 6 innings, only allowed 1 earned run, struck out 10. He walked a few guys. The command was definitely all over the place in the 2nd and the 3rd inning. It's like, he gets the 1st inning, gets out of that inning with 9 pitches, and then after 2 innings, he's above 60 pitches. Well, after 3 innings, he's above 60 pitches. So he has those moments basically throughout his little short stint here to start the season. And like I said, this is more of a major nitpick with Luzardo than anything because overall the full workload of Luzardo has been very good. Very, 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 very good for Luzardo. He really prevents himself from going deeper in the ball games with just like that 1 or 2 inning period where his command is just all over the place and he's throwing so many pitches. Because realistically, if you think about it, if he doesn't have the 2nd and 3rd inning where he's throwing a bunch of pitches, Maybe he's going 7 innings in this game. Maybe he's going 8 innings in this game. Realistically, if you think about it, because when he was getting outs, he was nasty. He was nasty. So, and if you just look at his stat line overall, like the fact that he was bordering around like 93, 94 pitches coming out of the 5th inning, still goes out for the 6th, and he has a relatively quick inning. His whole stat line: 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts on 105 pitches. Still very good stuff. He lowered his ERA to 1.95. He still had a very solid start. It's really just like he prevented himself from going deeper into the ball game with that 2nd and 3rd inning, just throwing so many pitches out there. So it was just a little bit of a crazy thing happening. But then you look at Ruiz, 1 inning in that 7th inning, he allowed 3 hits and 1 earned run on 19 pitches. And then Lazar, you use him for 2 innings, he allows 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 40 pitches there. Just and granted, you're not going to be using these guys constantly. I get that, but it's just like, I would rather, when a low leverage guy goes into a low leverage situation, he just gets out of it with ease. Gets out of it with ease. You know what I mean? It's really just, it's annoying. It really is annoying. But going over the course of this game, Phillies scored 3 runs on the boards quickly in the top of the 1st. Bryson Stott on an infield single, Trey Turner ground rule double, which made it 2nd and 3rd for Bryce Harper. Hits a 2-run double. Scores 2 runs, 2-0 Phillies there. Castellanos did eventually hit a sacrifice fly, which scored Bryce, made it 3-0. Top 2nd basically was your only quick inning of the ball game. Top 3rd, Trey Turner and Bryce Harper with leadoff singles. Sadly, those guys don't go around the score. Schwarber with a ground out, which did advance the runners to 2nd and 3rd. Nick Castellanos grounded it basically into the shift. Trey Turner tried scoring, and the shortstop did make a nice play to throw Trey out there, and then Kepler grounded out, so no runs scored. Top 4, a little bit of 2-out action. Marsh with a 2-out single, Stott with a 2-out single, then Turner struck out looking after basically throwing his bat into the camera well. Bottom 4 is when Luzardo allows one of the runs to score for the Rockies on a 2-out single by Freeman. Becomes 3-1. Top 5, the Phillies get that run back. Schwarber with a walk, and then Kepler with a double into the gap in center field, basically. Schwarber read it perfectly, and he scored. Made it 4-1 Phillies. Top 6, Bryson Stott 2-out single. Nothing happens there. Top 7, it's really when the Phillies blow it open. Again, Schwarber with a 1-out solo bomb to center field. He continues to rake, and he continues to prove why he should be extended. I don't know why he's not extended right now. Castellanos, he reaches in on a throwing error by the pitcher, which advances him to 2nd base. Kepler then walks. Rockies go back to the bullpen as well. JT grounds into a fielder's choice, which is Kepler thrown at first and JT safe at 3rd. So you got 1st and 3rd for Alec Boehm. He singles, which scores Castellanos, makes it 6-1, and then Marsh singles, which scores JT to make it a 7-1 ball game. Bottom 7, Ruiz out there on the mound. Another run scores, so it's a 7-2 ball game. That's basically it there. Top 8, the Phillies do have another chance to score. Price with a double. Price had 3 hits in this game, 2 doubles, so hopefully he's finding some confidence with his swing. Nothing happens there. Top 9, Phillies do have more chances to score. Boehm 2-out single, Marsh 2-out single. Stott didn't do anything. He flew at the deep center field. Then bottom 9, Lazar back out there. Leadoff double. Mickey Moniak, RBI hit. Then you get 2 straight outs, and then McMahon hits an RBI single, which you also have an error by Brandon Marsh in center field to make it 7-4, and then eventually got Beck to fly out to end the game off. So if you look at the lineup, Bryson Stott goes 3 for 6, Trey Turner 2 for 5, Bryce Harper 3 for 5, which is very good for him, so hopefully he's finding some confidence. 2 doubles as well for Bryce. His average is back up to 272 with an on-base of 381. Kyle Schwarber, he goes 1 for 4 with a solo shot and a walk. Nick Castellanos goes 1 for 4 with an RBI. Kepler goes 2 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. JT goes 0 for 5 with a run scored. Alec Boehm 2 for 5 with an RBI. He's been swinging a lot better of a bat as lately. I believe since the end of April, he's hitting almost 400 basically. So he's definitely working his average back up there. He's at 264 right now. On bases over 300, slugging still at 362, but he's finding more confidence with that swing, so it is a good thing for the Phillies. And Brandon Marsh, nice 3-for-5 day in the 9-hole with an RBI as well. So good for Brandon Marsh. He's also finding a way to get that average back up there, so good for him. 3-for-14 with runners in scoring position sucks, but I'm not going to judge too harshly here. It's don't really feel like it. Don't really feel like judging it too harshly. Harper went 1-for-1 in his lone chance with runners on. Castellanos 0-for-2. Kepler 0-for-1. JT 0-for-2. Turner 0-for-1. Schwarber 0-for-3 with runners in scoring position. Marsh 1-for-1. Bohm 1-for-1. Stott 0-for-2. Schwarber's not going to go 0-for-3 with runners in scoring position consistently, so that's never going to be the case. Basically, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. But you got 2 wins in this series so far. Taijuan Walker on the mound tomorrow. And who is he going up against? He's going up against Carson Palmquist. And Carson Palmquist has an 11.25 ERA. I believe he's only made 1 start this year. From the last time I checked, yeah. Made 1 start this year. That was a 4-inning appearance against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He allowed 5 earned runs. I'm assuming, is he a relief pitcher turned starter, or is he just a young pitcher? Yeah, he is a young pitcher. That's what it looks like. And he is a lefty, so most likely it'll be the Trey Turner leadoff lineup tomorrow. You'll probably see Weston Wilson in the lineup tomorrow. Maybe Johan Rojas will be in. Most likely Johan Rojas will be in the lineup tomorrow. Taijuan Walker on the mound. He's got a 2.62 ERA. When was the last time he started, actually? Taijuan, because I know he's been out of the bullpen a few times. He had that 3-inning appearance against the St. Louis Cardinals. He had the 3-inning appearance against Tampa Bay. So his last start was May 1st against the Washington Nationals, where he allowed 4 runs, but 3 of those were unearned. So we'll see. We'll see where it is. Sosa probably will be playing tomorrow as well. Maybe we'll be playing for Bryson Stott, so I would assume Sosa goes to second base. Yeah, that's basically it there. Then you have Thursday's game, which is an afternoon one, and that's Ranger Suarez on the bump, I believe. Yeah, it's Ranger Suarez against German Marquez. And we know what Marquez did in the home opener against us. Hopefully it doesn't repeat there. He went 6 innings, allowed no earned runs, 4 hits and 4 strikeouts. But overall, Marquez has not been good. He has not been good. Yeah, that's basically it. Then you got the Athletic series. Then you come back home against Atlanta, Milwaukee, blah, blah, blah. Rest of the schedule. Basically, these games have been drags. Rockies are not good. They are not a good baseball team. I understand the score was 8-4. Don't like it. What else is there? I don't even think there's much. It's a very... I wouldn't say it's a non-entertaining game. I expected them to get the job done because you are playing a very bad team. They did. So, realistically, it's really just not getting too high. I know that it says it right here on post game. It's on the TV in the background. I mean, the Phillies are 17-5 since April 26th. They've been playing a lot better baseball. I'm just not going to go fully gung ho after playing a series against Colorado Rockies. I think that's just where I'm at. They're not that good. They're a terrible team. So I'm not going to go really woohoo. Not really going to do that. Just going to say, yeah, you got your job done. That's what you had to do. So, and that's basically what you got to do the next 2 days. Gotta win the next 2 games. You gotta. I know people say sweeping a 4-game series is tough against any opponent. I understand that's probably a fact, but this is a series you gotta sweep. Knowing the Phillies, they'll probably have a quiet offensive day tomorrow with Taijuan Walker on the mound. That would be our luck. We do have a voicemail on the Anytime Hotline. We have one from Sean. So, might as well get to that. I don't want these streams to go too long this late at night. It's Phillies After Dark. I understand some of you guys are awake at this time. I'm surprised Sean's awake. I usually think Sean would be in bed by now. I know, Julian, you're a West Coast guy, so it makes sense that you're here. And I guess it makes sense that there's some people awake at this time. I guess I'm just getting tired. I guess I'm just tired. That's basically just it. And a very long day. Very long day. Had my 4 o'clock gym session, and then walked over to the Wells Fargo Center for the Flyers season ticket holder seat select night, to where you could probably just upgrade your seats and all that stuff. We were trying to quote unquote they call it downgrading, because we were trying to maybe move over into a section where it was cheaper, and kind of bullshit that they don't allow that, because technically you can only upgrade your seats, but it's kind of upgrading your seats if you're paying less, right? I consider that an upgrade. You're saving some money in your pocket, but nope, they wouldn't allow that to happen. But we actually did find seats. So the seats that we sit in right now, are 212, section 212 in the Wells Fargo Center, row 11, seats 1 and 2. That's basically right on the blue line where the Flyers shoot twice. We found seats in the same exact section, 5 rows lower in row 6. Same exact seats 1 and 2. And it's only if you add up all the totals, it's only an extra $400 on the thing. And it really isn't that bad of a deal. The view's still good. It's a good spot. And you're moving lower in the section, so you don't have to go up as much. So, thought it was a good value there. So we ended up upgrading our seats. And we, in the process of the upgrade, people who do upgrade their seats, because they were doing something on the ice level, where you can shoot a puck on net. And granted, the ice is not there in the Wells Fargo Center. They took all that off for the off season, so it's basically just ground floor. And so they got the stick hockey pucks and all that crap, or the floor hockey pucks and everything like that. So you go down there. If you upgrade your seat, you could put a shot on net, and it's obviously one of those barriers that they put on the goal, to where it has that just one little hole, puck-sized hole that you have to try to shoot the puck through. So obviously we went down there, me and my dad. I decided to put a puck on net. I put it wide because I'm not a good shot. Never played hockey. And, kind of warned the people there. I guess kind of the people that were there were not expecting people to hit shots. Realistically, it's really just a 1 in something chance that you actually hit the shot on the net there. And my dad goes up, and I kind of warn him, dude plays beer league, so he knows how to shoot a puck. And what does my dad do? Perfectly placed on point, puts the puck through that hole, didn't touch anything, it's just nothing but net. Nothing but net, he gets the puck in. And so, ensuing of doing that, you win it for people that do end up scoring on the goal, you get a free, you get an autographed Matvei Michkov jersey. So, not guaranteed what size you're getting. They basically just said whatever jerseys he signed, so not guaranteed the size that you get. But still, that's a very good get. And you also get a free suite for a preseason game. Not catered specifically, but a free suite. I'm assuming they give you a bunch of tickets for a suite for a preseason game that's not catered. So, ended up being a pretty good deal. Upgraded your seats, ended up winning a jersey, autographed jersey by Matvei Michkov, and getting a free suite for a preseason game. Ended up being a good deal at the end of the day. And also, I got my picture with the Super Bowl, the Lombardi Trophy, basically 30 minutes after that. Walked right over to the link. They were giving people that live in the sports complex area a chance to do that. So, got a picture with the Lombardi. Always nice. Always nice. That was basically my day. Did a lot of walking, so I'm tired. So, to shut me up, let's get to Sean's call. Everything's up here. Yep, got to the call.
Good night for the Phils on a number of levels. I mean, you took care of business against the team you should beat. I mean, they should have probably put 15 to 20 runs up on them with all the chances they had. And you get some help from the Braves losing and the Mets losing, so that's a good thing. I mean, another Schwarber, that's a good thing. And, we criticized Dave Dombrowski for the things he didn't do and should have done, etc. he got the Luzardo move right. I mean, that kid has been money. The guy goes out there without his best stuff and still strikes out 10 and gives you 6 quality innings. But I gotta say this in closing.
Oh boy.
Their minor league system, if Daniel Robert and Max Lazar are the two best relievers that they could bring up to the major league club to help, my God. It's just sad. I mean, even the outs Lazar was recording were bullets right at people. So, don't know what's going on. I mean, we got some starters, but we obviously need some help in the bullpen, both at the major league and the minor league level.
I think to counter that, the Iron Picks have been like one of the best teams in minor league baseball, if I'm not mistaken. I think they have been. If I look at they're the best team in minor league baseball. They're 32-14, so they're doing something right there. They're the best in the International League East, and they're the best team overall in that entire league. Yeah, they're the best record by a large margin by 3 games on Jacksonville. If I look at their individual stats, just pitching wise, ERA. Why is it just like doing like a few pitchers? Do I have to like filter this by? Yeah, there we go. I gotta filter this by a lot. Games played. That's just okay. That's just games pitched. Should I do innings? Innings? Then maybe just go to the lower innings. So starting pitching has been solid for them. So obviously the guys with the higher innings are the starters. Seth Johnson, he's got a 4.03 ERA. Nicholas Padilla, he's got 18 1/3 innings. He's got a 1.96. Brett the Deuce, he's got a 1 ERA in 12 games and 18 innings. Max Lazar's got 3.12. Devin Sweet, okay, he's been their worst one. Julio, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's got a 1.35 ERA. Koyo, the guy they signed from Japan in the offseason, he got off to a hot start, but his ERA definitely has inflated a little bit. In 11 innings, he's got a 3.97. Ranger pitched there for a little bit, so they still have his stats there. They got Painter there with a 2.25 ERA. So they do got some guys down there. It's realistic. I don't think any of these guys are lefties, though. I think most of these guys are right-handed pitchers. Nicholas Padilla, what's he? He's 28 years old. He's a right-handed thrower. Yep, got a 1.96 ERA, it looks like, or 1.96. Brett the Deuce. Brett the Juice, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not entirely sure. 27 years old. Yep, he's a right-handed thrower. So, makes sense. Who else? Max Lazar, obviously. This Julio guy, he's 26 years old, right-handed thrower. I don't think they have any lefties down here. Koyo, the guy they signed from Japan. Yep, 3.97 ERA. Let me see. Is there game logs where I see his ERA inflate a little bit here? Okay, so we got off to a bad start. It looks like, yeah. So okay. So where did his ERA jump from? Let me see. Okay, so he was at before this past start or his past outing, he was at a .87 ERA on May 14th. His ERA jumped to 3.97 after allowing 4 earned runs. So that was his bad start. But basically before then, he was very good and very good. He got off to a very bad start when above 13 ERA. But it like scoreless outings. Like he had how many scoreless outings in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He had 11 straight scoreless outings before the 16th. And that's where his ERA inflated to 3.97. But overall, he's been very good. But realistically, yeah, all their fucking pitching in the minors are righties. They have no lefties. No lefties at all. None. Really none. Don't think this is this lefty Austin Schefter? No, Schulfer? No. No. Really nothing. Really nothing. They have no lefties down there. No lefties at all. That is crazy. That is crazy that they have no lefties in the minors. No lefties. No lefties at all. Seth Johnson, I think they're transitioning him into the bullpen. He's got a 4.03 ERA. Can I look at his game log to see where his ERA has been? So his ERA inflated a little bit. He had a very good month of April. Then in May, he has not been so good. Okay, he's had one. Actually, scratch that. He's had one bad outing in May, and then the rest are scoreless. But his one bad outing, he allowed 4 earned runs. But if you look at this as well, no earned runs. Okay, so when he has his good starts, he's very good. When he has his bad, he's bad. Jesus Christ. So his ERA is inflated by like 2 outings, realistically. When he was a starter, he allowed 6 earned runs in 1 appearance on April 16th. And then on May 7th, as a reliever, he allowed 4 earned runs. But basically, every other outing, it's no earned runs and scoreless. So, interesting stuff. Interesting. Yeah, they have no lefties. They have no lefties down here. It's weird. It is really weird. Daniel Harper? Daniel Harper. I do not see him. And also that one guy that was down in AA, I believe, just got Tommy John surgery. And he was like the big get in the Gregory Soto trade from the Orioles. So I think that's also something there. Yeah, they have no righties. That is crazy. That is crazy that they have no righties. No, I don't see anything else. Realistically, what I think they should do. Moises Chase, yeah, he's the one that got hurt, Tommy John. Realistically, what I do think they should do, and I don't know, well, this is probably like, I'm feeding this off of Brodes as well, because he basically has the same mindset as mine. We have the same opinion for the bullpen, is that Ranger Suarez should be in the bullpen. Mick Abel should be in the starting rotation, and when Andrew Painter does come up, granted, he is going to be limited with his innings coming off of Tommy John surgery, you put him in the bullpen. And that drastically makes your bullpen better. Putting Ranger and Painter in there. And whatever move you're going to make at the deadline for a pitcher. That's what I would do. You put Ranger in the bullpen. He could pitch in any situation you need to, because he has experience doing that. And you put Painter in the bullpen so you can limit his innings. Because his innings, he's going to have an innings limit at some point. I think Painter is starting tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, I think they said. And Rob said his limit is 5 innings or 75 or 85 pitches, I think. I don't know. Do I think they trade Abel for a reliever? It's definitely possible. It definitely is. But I really don't know. Because you also have to add into the fact of Ranger and his free agency. Do you trade Ranger? Because realistically, because Ranger, he's on the last year of his contract, and I think the only thing that's realistically going to prevent him from going to the bullpen is Scott Boras, and Scott Boras wants his guys to get paid. Do you just say fuck it, trade Ranger, and get pieces in return? Whether that's bullpen help, whether that's even more bats, can you get a haul for Ranger Suarez, even though considering he would be a rental? I don't know. Because are you going to bring him back? I don't see that happening personally, since you just got Luzardo. I don't see that happening. And also because you just extended Sanchez. I don't see them re-signing Ranger. I see them more trading him than not. Even though I still don't think it's going to happen. But I think that's something that would, in theory, make sense. You trade Ranger for other help. What exactly does Boras do? He prevents him from going because he would want his client to get the best money possible, and Ranger Suarez, for him to get the best money possible, with him being a starting pitcher, that's how he would get the best money. And that's realistically, I'm sure Scott Boras has some say in that. I'm sure he has some say in like a lot of his clients. Like, hey, no, he's not going to the bullpen. I want my guy to get paid. I'm sure Scott Boras has some say there. And granted, it shouldn't be the case, but he's going to have that power because he's Scott Boras. He's the top agent in baseball. That's the only thing I would think of. And maybe it's not that much of an influence. Maybe I'm just reaching too far. But I just think that would be the case, since considering Ranger just switched to Scott Boras as his agent. I just don't think he's going to want to go in the pen. I agree. He should go in the pen regardless. Like, Ranger, I don't give a fuck. You're going to the pen. You are going to the pen. You're going to the pen. You can't stay upright for a full year. You are going to the bullpen. You can pitch 2 innings out of the bullpen. We can use you in the 9th inning if we need to. We can use you in a high leverage situation if we need to. Or we can bring you out when a starter maybe doesn't have his best stuff. You can bring him out for like 3 innings. Because we're trying to do what's best for the team, and we're putting, a place where we think you can also succeed because you have proven to that before. Put Mick Abel in the rotation. Painter also goes to the bullpen when he eventually does get called up, because that will save his arm for his innings limit, most likely. That's what I would do. That's what I would do, at least. And yeah, this does also shed light on, Dave Dombrowski not doing much in the offseason for the bullpen. Granted, you can't predict Alvarado using fucking testosterone and all that crap. You can't predict that at all. But you still should have made some bullpen help outside of Jordan Romano. And hopefully Romano does look like he's figuring it out. So I'm not ruling him out anyway, regardless. He has been better a lot lately. So there's something there, at least. But still, with your 3 highest leverage guys being Romano, Strom, and Kerkering, it's not enough. That is nowhere near enough. And you can't go into the trade deadline specifically just going at and just fixing your entire bullpen on the trade deadline. That's not going to work because teams know that you're desperate and teams are going to jack those prices up. That's why you got to look at some internal help. That's why you got to look at Ranger, you're going to the fucking pen. Painter, I know you're a highly touted prospect, but you're just coming off a Tommy John surgery. We're trying to save your arm. We're trying to save your elbow. You're going to the pen. Mick Abel, you're in the rotation. Taiwan, you're in the rotation. Nola, I don't think his stuff translates to the bullpen. He's staying in the rotation. He can figure it out. Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. Unless, Nola figures it out. Taiwan, bullpen. Your rotation, Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo, Nola, Abel. That's your rotation. I think that's passable. And then you put your bullpen with Ranger, Painter, Walker, and then another move that you make at the deadline. That's a much better bullpen. That is a much better bullpen. Much better. Much better. Much better. That's what I think that should. That's what I think they should do. Walker, Ranger, Painter, bullpen. Starting rotation: Wheeler, Luzardo, Sanchez, Nola, Abel. That's your starting rotation. That's your starting rotation. And that's what I think, because at least Taiwan Walker showed that he can pitch out of the bullpen. Ranger has shown you many times that he can pitch out of the bullpen. Painter, it's solely for the fact that he's going to be on an innings limit. You save his arm that way. Nola, I just think his stuff doesn't translate the bullpen arm. And I do think there's something to where he figures it out. At least. I know people are doubting him right now, and granted, it's warranted. But I still believe in Nola. Consider me a fool. But I still think your rotation is fine nonetheless, with that 5 that I just stated there. And if you add those 3 that I mentioned to the bullpen, I think that drastically upgrades your bullpen, and whatever you do at the trade deadline to upgrade your bullpen as well. Whether that's going out and getting a Ryan Helsley, whether that's going out and maybe trying to get that Batista or Cano from the Orioles or something like that. You need another lefty, though. And I don't know what lefties are out there. I don't know. I don't know. Had a chance to get Tanner Scott in the offseason, you cheaped out. And whether that's Dave Dombrowski or John Middleton, I have no idea. All starters going up. Oh yeah, Sean, that's happening. That's definitely happening. Your arms will be fucking cooked by freaking September. All your arms will be cooked. Cooked. Wheelers will be putty. Sanchez, Luzardo, Nola. Uh, Realistically, probably the only guy that wouldn't be putty is Nola, just because he doesn't throw hard. And Abel would be putty. All those guys. Yeah, he has. That is the one thing that Dave has done is trade pitchers. Definitely has been. Definitely has been trading pitchers. So I think what pitching has he traded that's really like hurt you? Do we want to take a swing with David Robertson? Bring him back. He's out there. They've had talks. Third go around with Dave Robertson. It's probably a better option still than anything. It's probably better than Hernandez. He's probably better than Ruiz. He's probably better than freaking Banks. He's better than Lazar. Freaking 40-plus-year-old freaking David Robertson's probably better than most of the guys in your bullpen. Probably. What else? I don't know what other bullpen arms are out there. Do you go after, was it Pete Fairbanks from Tampa? Do you go after him? I realistically don't know many lefty relievers that are out there. I don't. I really don't. Reunion with Gregory Soto with the Orioles? So you get Gregory Soto back? Hey, Gregory! We know he traded you last year. Want to come back? That ain't gonna happen. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I think the way that I pointed out, I think that's their best way. I think that's their best way. I think that's it. I think that's it. Trying to see if there's anything that pops up on the Twitterverse. Anything at all that stands out. I don't think so. Don't think so. No more voicemails. Nothing like that. Standings wise, the Phillies are a game and a half up now in the East, with the Mets losing and the Braves losing, so that helps. Mets have lost 3 in a row. Braves lost to the Nationals. Braves are at 500. Mets are 29-20. You're 30-18. Good stuff. Solid stuff. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Take advantage of this schedule. 100%. Take advantage of it. Just looking at some of the scores of whether the Mets get shut out. Yep, the Mets got shut out 2-0. So their offense is going cold. Who are the Flyers signing in free agency? I have no idea. I did see that you put up jokingly with Mitch Marner. I think you put that up jokingly there. They're not signing Mitch Marner. They're not doing that. They are not doing that. Now the question is, would I want a Mitch Marner? I mean, I wouldn't mind a Mitch Marner, but I just don't see it happening. He's probably going to. I'm trying to think of a team that would sign Mitch Marner. For some reason, just in my mind, Mitch Marner. Utah. Why do I think Utah with Mitch Marner? I don't know why. I just do. He's not signing in Carolina. That ain't happening. Because their ownership is cheap. They're not going to pay out the big bucks for Mitch Marner. He's not going to go to Florida. He's not going to go to Tampa. Regardless of the tax and all that stuff, those teams are already like near the cap. They're not going to be able to afford him. Dallas won't be able to afford him. California, maybe. California could be an option. He's not signing anywhere in Canada. I don't see him signing anywhere in our division, respectively. I think he goes out west. I think he goes to California or Utah. That's where I see. That's where I see it. Flyers could definitely go with the RFA market. I think they can probably offer shoot some guys. Mason McTavish would be a guy I looked into. Yeah, Marco Rossi, Velarde definitely would be a guy. I think there's a guy from Buffalo that people keep mentioning as well. I keep forgetting his name. I don't remember who it is. But the one thing I would do, with the upcoming draft, and we'll end it in a little bit here. I would try to find a way to trade back into the top 10 with one of those teams. Yeah, Paterka is the name. Yeah, that's the guy that I was thinking about. I think he's an offer sheet eligible player, so definitely would be interesting. I would try to trade back into the top 10. So you keep 6 overall, and then you find a way to trade back into the top 10. And I think Buffalo would be a team that you trade with, because realistically, does Buffalo need another top 10 pick? Wouldn't they rather want a player ready now that can maybe help them get over the hump and finally get into a playoff spot? Wouldn't that be better off for Buffalo than a 9th overall pick? I think Danny could do some work. You can utilize the picks that you have with the Colorado pick and the Edmonton pick, or maybe some of the second rounders that you have, move into the top 10, maybe a roster player as well. Some players that I would be willing to move off. Is Cam York enticing? Is Owen Tippett enticing? I'd be willing to move an Owen Tippett. 100%. Get off that contract before the new movement clause kicks in. Owen Tippett definitely screams Buffalo Sabre, doesn't he? I know he has so much skill, but he's just not smart. I just watch his game. I know there's skill in there. He doesn't play the game smart. I'd move him. If moving Owen Tippett means you can get the 9th overall pick from Buffalo, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Because I'd rather take the risk with the draft picks right now than with the Tippett, because also that takes money off your books. More money for 2026. Just in a very small case that a certain player from Edmonton hits the market. Maybe a Connor McDavid hits the market. And if you make some moves this offseason, because they're definitely going to make some moves this offseason to try to push themselves into a playoff spot, the Flyers, that is. I don't see them being a basement team this year, upcoming season. They're definitely going to make some moves, whether that's at the draft, whether that's maybe signing some free agents or like some minor free agents or something like that, or maybe even hitting the RFA market. They're not going to make anything majorly substantial, but they're going to make some quality moves that can bolster the roster in order to get them over the hump and maybe fight for a bubble as a bubble playoff team. That's most likely what they'll try to do. And if they show some vital improvement, you see, even Matvei Michkov, even if you just make some subtle roster changes, nothing very substantial, but like I said, quality changes, and Matvei Michkov has an amazing sophomore season, and you have better goaltending, you're probably a playoff team, most likely. That would be great. And you have all that money coming off the books for 2026. You trade away an Owen Tippett, maybe, even though I don't think it's going to happen. You have all that money freed up. Even though you do have to sign some guys in this year like for your RFAs. I know Cam York needs a contract. Tyson Forrester eventually needs a contract. All that stuff. Did you see the goal that Tyson Forrester scored today at the World Championships? Nasty stuff. Imagine if Tyson Forrester was not playing with Noah Cates and Bobby Brink. Imagine if he was playing with Matvei Michkov. But also, that money comes off the books. 2026, whatever the Flyers do in 2025 is whatever. 2026 money comes off the books. Free agency opens up. Maybe a certain player from Edmonton hits the market. And everything that Keith Jones always says about one of the best players. You need top-end talent. You need elite talent. Blah, 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 blah. You need all this talent and blah, 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 blah. Circle dots. Connect dots. Player from Edmonton. If he hits the market, Flyers are 100% going after him. Granted, a bunch of other teams from the National Hockey League would. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Flyers are a heavy suitor if, say, a nudge, nudge, wink, wink, Connor McDavid hits the market. That's all I'm saying. Because they're just making some subtle hints, some subtle movements that are catching my eye. Now, this is no sources or anything like that. I know nothing. Connor McDavid flying back to Philadelphia from the Four Nations with Konechny, with Sanheim, with Briere and all that stuff on the Flyers plane back to Philadelphia. Granted, Edmonton was playing in Philadelphia after the Four Nations, but I'm sure there was a little bit of nudge, nudge, wink, wink, sliding in 20 in there or something like that. To maybe like, hey, tampering probably. Come to Philadelphia. We have working on stuff here. And if Rick Tocchet really is this guy that players want to play for and that players are attracted to playing for Rick Tocchet, we'll see. We'll see. If Rick Tocchet can attract a Connor McDavid, maybe. Imagine Connor McDavid as Exactly what Sean said. Can you fucking imagine McDavid and Mitchkov together? Yeah. I have a hard on thinking about that right now. I do. I do. Is that too much information? Probably. My excuse? It's past midnight, so anything fucking goes. They can't get Draisaitl. Draisaitl's already locked up. They locked up Draisaitl already. I think. I think they locked him up already. So, theoretically, their next lockup would have to be McDavid. And that's not guaranteed. Not guaranteed at all. That's the one thing that I'm always thinking about, too. What would make McDavid re-sign in Edmonton more? Would winning a cup in Edmonton make him want to re-sign there more? Or would not winning the cup this year make him want to extend again with Edmonton? Does, not winning a cup make you want to think that I got unfinished business here? I'll extend I'll get a contract extension. I'll sign. I'll try to win a cup here for Edmonton or two. Or he wins a cup this year, maybe, if they do beat Dallas and get to the finals and beat whoever they beat, most likely Florida. Because they dominated Carolina earlier tonight. Get a rematch from last year. That definitely would be exciting a little bit. If McDavid were to win the cup with Edmonton, does that maybe entice him to leave? Like, okay, I did my job here. I'm going to go make my money elsewhere. And maybe help a team win a cup. Another team win a cup. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just spitting out here. It's barroom conversation. Anything is on the table. But like I said, when you just listen to Keith Jones talk, he's always talking about getting the best talent. And that definitely would be something. That would be like bringing Connor McDavid to Philadelphia. It's like signing Bryce Harper. It's like bringing in Saquon Barkley, basically. It would be like, say if LeBron James were to sign in Philadelphia over that course when it was basically between him and the Sixers and the Lakers, there and when he was a free agent. That basically, if he signed in Philadelphia, that basically would be equivalent of that. Yeah. If Connor McDavid were to sign in Philadelphia, like I said, this is me just spitballing. I'm not basing this off of anything. I know nothing. Nothing. But be interesting. I'm not winking. My eyes itchy. I know nothing. Oh man. Interesting stuff. Probably go before I say something stupid. Got way off of the Phillies talk and the Flyers. So I think that's a good spot to end it here. So I think most of the guys in the chat are probably gone now. I don't know if Sean caught my winking or anything like that. But yeah. We'll see. Tomorrow, another late night game for the Phils. We'll see if they win that one. They should, hopefully. And we'll be back to recap as always, unless I fall asleep. That's basically what would be the case. If I don't recap tomorrow, I'm most likely asleep. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Don't pass it up. Also, follow at TTPSPORTS on TikTok and Instagram for all the other good stuff. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in late tonight. I didn't want this stream going 50 minutes, but we went 50 minutes because I got off the rails. Thanks, guys, in the chat for getting me off the rails. But I love you all the same. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time.